The Romans believed this was the end of the world, a coast where ships disappeared and where the land just stops. They call it the Coast of Death, and I'm traversing it alone via four-wheel drive. I'm pushing through Galicia's forgotten headlands, overgrown trails, and places the map barely admits still exist. This is a place shaped by loss, isolation, and a landscape that doesn't forgive mistakes. This is rugged country, spectacular and hostile in equal measure. I'm fighting the terrain, carving a path where there barely is one, and chasing the edge of the map. We don't stop, we don't turn back. This is the road to Finisterre, the end of the world. There are two things that I need to do today. So one of them is the Cementerio de los Ingleses. It's apparently where a British ship was wrecked on one of the extreme points of Galicia back in the 1800s, and so they made like a whole cemetery for all these English sailors who lost their lives off the coast. So it's in one of the most extreme points of Galicia. Gonna have to do some four-wheel driving to get there, basically, and go visit the cemetery. There's the shipwreck, I think, is just off the coast as well. I don't know if it's still visible. I know very little about the incident, but I'll get there and kind of learn a little bit about it. The place where I want to camp tonight is called Finisterre, or Finisterre, and it's literally, in Latin, it means the end of the world. So this is one of the most extreme points west of the Iberian Peninsula, and it's where the Romans believed that the world ended. In Latin, it literally means the end of the world. Finisterre, like the end of Earth, which is very, very cool. So this is one of the most extreme points of the Iberian Peninsula, and it's something that I plotted when I first started plotting out this trip, years ago now. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully reach there tonight, 6 o'clock. It is summer, so we've probably got another 2.5 hours worth of light, so we're gonna have to see if we can make the cemetery and the end of the earth today. Let's do it. All right, so let's get us started up. Continue on this trail. This is the Iberian Trail, a 7,000-mile attempt to circumnavigate the Iberian Peninsula using only unpaved roads and off-road tracks. No highways, no shortcuts, and no easy way out. When I set out to do this, I thought I knew what I was getting into, but the reality is, I didn't. What I expected to be tough turned out to be relentless. Breakdowns, recoveries, storms, dead ends, and long days fighting through places that most people never see. I thought I'd be finished by now. Instead, I'm heading into my 4th month on the road, having had to leave Europe to avoid overstaying my visa, but now I'm back. There have been many moments where I've seriously questioned whether this is even possible, but every time it tries to stop me, I just keep going. This is not a highlight reel, it's the reality of a long-distance off-road expedition that has morphed into a brutal battle to finish what I started. This is the Iberian Trail, 7,000 miles off-road alone, through some of Europe's last untamed places. Jeez. I'm fighting my way through extremely overgrown, rarely used four-wheel drive trails, somewhere in forests just above the coastline of Galicia, pushing my way through bracken and thick brush. Man, look how rarely used this track is, man. Wow. With brush this thick and trails this narrow, it can get kinda dicey trying to force a 2-meter wide, 3-ton vehicle down these things. Bloody hell, I can't even see where this goes, like. Oof, that felt a bit bad as well. And this is the issue with bracken, is that it hides a bunch of rocks. I've just hit one right there. One of the perils of this kind of adventure is that sometimes you can get super deep into a track network through pretty hazardous terrain, only to find there's no way through. Going real slow here. Fucking hell. I honestly don't think I can get through this. This is an absolute fight, and the bottom end of the cruiser is getting hung up on rocks that I can't even see because of all the undergrowth. This is going to be a case of stopping the vehicle and proceeding on foot to scout out what lies ahead and get a better feeling for whether I will indeed make it through or not. It's not looking good. The trail, it turns out, is carved out of solid bedrock, and it's really narrow, probably made for horse and cart millennia ago. Yeah, I can't pass through here. It's way too narrow, and reversing, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that either. Bloody hell, like. Oh, God. These are some of the tightest trails I've been on this trip so far. And the bracken just hides everything in terms of rocks, and this bloody Galician granite is absolutely unforgiving. There we go, back going the right way now. God. With a few fresh scrapes and scratches on the body of the vehicle, the trail spat me back out onto the coast again before plunging back into high cliffside forestry land. Dude, look at this. Unbelievable, brother. This is the remote, unforgiving and infamous Costa del Morte. In English, the coast of death. In the high summer sun, it might look beautiful and benign, but this coastline is one of the most vicious in the world and has been the scene of many a maritime tragedy over the millennia. This place appears in the tales and legends of sailors all throughout the centuries. It is a place that's gone down in history as one of death, grief and loss. We're about to go visit one of the most tragic and infamous sites on this coast. The Cementerio de los Ingleses, or the Cemetery of the English. Right, so this here is the Cementerio de los Ingleses, so it's where a British warship ran aground in 1890 and sank to the loss of 172 sailors. The warship was named HMS Serpent. This is like an extreme point on the Galician coast, and so the local people kind of arrived there trying to help as best they could, but apparently there were only 3 survivors. So they built this cemetery here to bury the dead, and they cared for the 3 sailors who actually survived. So yeah, pretty somber place, and apparently British warships came the following year to build the walls that you can see here around the cemetery, and whenever they passed they would always do a salute to salute the 172 souls who perished in these icy waters. Wow. Wow. En memoria de los marinos que perdieron la vida tan lejos de su hogar. Yeah, pretty sobering excursion, that one, honestly. The thing that, of all things, that got me was that little handwritten note that was obviously, you know, left in the last couple of days, talking about how these poor sailors had lost their lives so far from home, and it put a little lump in my throat, actually. You know, the fact that 150 or more years later, people are still coming and leaving little trinkets of memoria and stuff. Life can be tough and hard and sad, you know, a bunch of young lads perishing by drowning off a foreign coast. It's a sobering thing. Wow. Man. Amazing, truly amazing. Here I am climbing up a hill on a sandy trail. I don't know, that sobered me up, that one. It really did. I kind of expected it to be something other than it was. Going in there and seeing the little shrine with notes written recently and little offerings to those who lost their lives. It was really quite, I don't know, it's knocked me back, that one, a little bit. 172 people buried beneath my feet in that cemetery in a mass grave. This place is beautiful, but it's also extremely unforgiving. This is one of the most extreme points in Europe. Yeah, seeing it here in the sunlight and that, it's beautiful, gorgeous. But you can't forget that in the winter months, this place is deadly. It's known as the Costa del Muerte, the coast of death. It's seen that much death and despair and destruction. The poor shipwrecked lads gasping the last in these icy waters. It is a sobering place as well as being beautiful, you know. Alright, so this is Finisterre, the second most extreme western point on the Iberian Peninsula. This is the place that the Romans believed was the most extreme point and was the end of the known world. This is so cool. That walkway up here. Finisterre has been a waypoint on my trail since the very beginning of the first rough routes that I planned out. Finally reaching this place, making it real through physical manifestation, literally via four-wheel drive, feels like an accomplishment. Well, a really nice Denmark guy, just a Danish guy we call him, don't we? A really nice Danish guy just came up. He has this camper here and he walked up specially to tell me that he thinks there's a flat bit of ground just down this hill there where I could put it in and sleep for the night. So yeah, I'm gonna take him up on that and do it. See what I can find. Cheers, man. I think so. I'll go check it out. Wow. I mean, this, mate, is just something else. Like, when do you ever get to see this? What the hell, bro? I'm gonna drop it into low. Just crawl down nice and easy. Good. I'm now pushing out onto the most extreme tip of Finisterre, rolling along in low 4 in my four-wheel drive. Sometimes this trip feels like a dream. Oh, this is incredible. Look at that, the lighthouse over there. Jeez, man. Oh man, like genuinely. What the hell, bro? Wow. I popped the roof of the camper as the sun went down over the Atlantic Ocean and cracked myself a beer to watch this spectacle unfold. Well, this is Finisterre, the end of the world. What a place. I think this is going to go down in the history books as one of the best places I've ever made camp in my entire life. Wow, lighthouse just fired up there, over on the Cape. Little fishing boat down in the bay down there. Man, this guy who drove down here before in a little delicate van, he's got some stones, gotta say. This is some serious four-wheel drive. Man, sometimes it all just comes together and, I don't know, it takes your breath away. That was an amazing thing to behold, the sun setting on a place like this. Literally a peninsula just jutting out into the wild Atlantic Ocean. Nothing but sea all around. Yeah, I'm gonna make some food, cook up a steak in my camper and call it a night. What a day, mate. Man, every day out here on the trail is like a dream come true, honestly. Cheers wherever you are in the world. Yeah, that van is going places. Okay, let's get down from this rock, make some dinner. Oh God, what a dream. Right, we've got ourselves an absolute beaut of a dinner on the side of Finisterre tonight. So this is a chuck eye steak with fries that I just made out of a potato right now. And in here, we've got mushrooms and one of these long Spanish peppers. I don't know the name of them. They seem to go together really well. I just fry them in butter there. So yeah, that is a pretty banging dinner for one of the most spectacular places I've ever camped, I think, in my entire life. So yeah, let's do it. How's that for your camp snack? Pretty bloody nice, eh? My God, dude, so I just dipped down here to see what the deal is, and oh my God, I unfortunately can't really capture what I'm seeing out here, but there's the Milky Way right above here. This is one of the only times I've ever seen the Milky Way in Europe. and it's so remote here that you can see it. And right down there is the famous lighthouse, so you'll see it just flash every now and then. There you go. That's it, warning ships that this is the Costa del Muerte. And right up above me is the Milky Way. Like, oh